Hi, I'm Drewienko, and I welcome you to monthly wrap-up devlog for my 3D psychological horror game with dating sim elements, a lot of dream weirdness, and as of this month, I have a character that can actually blink and make expressions. So let's get to it. I started the month with the basics, added a player name, and with the logic add-on, it was super easy to implement. The part that took longer was actually the jokes. Depending on the name you put in, there are different unique reaction lines. Some reference to games, movies or YouTubers. Added a character limit and a specific reaction for less polite words. Before, ask in a short to give me your name joke ideas, and if you have any, you can still comment them under this video. It can even be dad jokes. Then came the settings menu. Brightness, FOV, shadows, all the basics. It's not the most interesting update, but it's an important part of the game. At the same time, I also added localization, yes, Polish. And a piece of advice: if you're making a game, and at any point plan to add translation, start your shit early. I started translating everything this month, and it was painfully boring. Going through every script and every scene, looking for stuff that should be translated is a nightmare. It's much easier to translate as you go. Now, when I add something new, I just add a new row in Excel. And if I ever wanted to add a third language, all I have to do is just add a new column. And translate it, of course. Sometimes the more I learn, the more I realize how little I knew just 5 minutes before that. For a while, I was just downloading textures and ignoring those weirdly colored purple, blue and grey images. Like, who needs this, right? As it turns out, normal and roughness maps are actually important. Who could have known? So I retextured the house a bit, changed the floor texture because the previous one was too similar to the table and they were blending in together. And of course I added normal and roughness maps to everything, and suddenly the house doesn't look like it's made out of cardboard anymore. As an example, look at this old brick wall on the left, ignore the hole in the wall, and this new brick wall on the right. Both are the same texture, but there is a clear difference. Then it was time to get weird. In the dream version, doors and cabinets open strangely. Also added some messed up animations. I wanted the dream sequences to feel off, so I took a page out of Bill Cipher's book and added some bubbles of pure weirdness. Also added a slight screen filter effect, subtle enough so you probably won't notice it during gameplay, unless you really try to see it, but you can notice it when the pass menu covers it and it snaps back into place. I also added automatic lights. Is it magic? Is it high-tech? No, it's just a developer who got tired of clicking light switches every time I was testing something inside a room. I also found a dog statue while I was scrolling Sketchfab. Naturally, instead of working on more dream weirdness animations, I spent hours rigging the doggo so it comes to life inside the dream and you can pet it. And if you have a bone in your inventory, you can give it to him and he will follow you. Because that is exactly a mechanic you need inside a psychological horror game. And I totally didn't get completely sidetracked. I spent some time on the great outdoors to touch some grass. Inside the game, of course. Added mountains, a path, and used some stuff from a natural asset pack to form a bit of a forest. However, now it looks peaceful. Too peaceful. I realize I have a problem. This was supposed to be an anime style horror game, but now it looks way too cozy. The horror part of this game right now exists only in the description. I plan to make dreams more nightmarish to balance this out, but I guess I will worry about that later. Now at least there is something when you look at the mirror. Before, all you could see was just a plane. I've also filled the kitchen with food and some kitchen equipment. I will think about adding a certain mechanic for the food, but I guess I will have to make a stamina system first for that. Also for this I used another asset pack. At first I tried to model most of the stuff myself, but then I realized that was just stupid. There's no reason not to make your life easier by looking up some nice looking assets, as long as they fit the game style and don't stand out too much. And finally, we got to expressions. I thought, how hard can it be? I found some tutorial and started learning what shakes are. In order I used them for blinking, smiling, surprised, tongue out and more. But when I exported to Godot, I found out that for the body, shape keys didn't export. It was because of the subdivision modifier on the body the shape keys wouldn't export. So I went and downloaded add-on SK Keeper to apply modifiers while keeping the shape keys. And what is that? Then this happened. Applied shape keys to the body when it has post-transformations on it, which caused some crazy lip scratching. Easy fix, I just went before I applied subdivision and cleaned transformation. So that's fixed. Although the first time I saw that it gave me a bit of a jump scare. And then there was a problem with the eye shader. The shader makes eyes visible through the hair, which gives a cool anime look. Until she closes her eyes and the irises shine through the eyelids like some kind of demon. She's clearly a vampire and not a demon. The solution I found for this is probably not the best. I just cleared the shader off the eyes at the start and put it back on at the end of the expression. Then I decided to make her mouth slightly bigger after a comment suggestion. So I thought to compare it to a character from Withering Waves, and at some point I just peeked into character's head and I found these very small planes with PNGs on them. Then with the shape keys, they make them bigger and they appear in different places on the character. These were originally in Chinese, I just renamed them so I can find them more easily. But these are just that easy to make. Just connect alpha on the image to alpha on the BSDF and it works. So with that I make some basic PNGs in GIMP and added a full bunch of new expressions. Pouting, about to cry, speechless, disgusted, lost in thought, furious, confused, shocked, in love, excited and sleeping. While standing, I guess. Probably a vampire thing or something, who knows. And with that I have a total of 19 expressions for her right now. And these PNGs, I think they are a really cool addition and really add to that anime style. If you have any suggestions for other expressions, leave them in the comments. I'm probably gonna add a few more, but I don't have any ideas right now. So, the game finally has some emotion, or at least the characters have some expressions. Next month I'm planning to tackle the stamina system, so you can just keep sprinting forever, as that is the enemy of a horror game. Then I have some ideas for the dream outside environment, because right now it just bubbles floating around. So I want to add some maybe floating islands or make these bubbles smaller and have different colors. Then I'm thinking maybe I should add some, horror to my horror game. Let's see how that goes. If you want to see me actually finish this game, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.